We're ready for some hockey at 3M Arena at Mariucci. Another season of Gophers hockey. And they possess the puck first and flip it into the offensive zone. Gophers last season 26-13. A frozen 4 appearance, and Matthew Nyes with the puck. Tipping it along the boards and played by Ryan Finnegan, the first liner for the Lions. Along to Drew Kuzma. Shuffled in by Lindenwood. Justin Close plays it. This might be the only game that Close gets in this series as he covers the puck there. Now to our coaches. Bob Motzko, 5th year as Gophers head coach. 84 wins behind the bench for the Maroon and Gold. The 2022 Big Ten Coach of the Year. And there's Rick Zombo, 13th year for Lindenwood and 13 years also as an NHL defenseman. 728 career penalty minutes in the NHL. 24 goals, 130 assists.
But he's going to need all that experience tonight. They are going to be under duress. They could only hope to keep the puck in the zone. As much as we've seen here on this first shift, the Gophers mightily talented. Yes, they did graduate and lose some offense to the National Hockey League ranks, but they replaced it in spades.
Hunter Johannes, who went to Eden Prairie with a shot deflected into the corner. Lindenwood applying some early pressure. There's a pass tipped and taken by Rhett Pitlick. Moves it to the blue line. Pitlick cross-sized, handled by Snuggerud, the freshman, with a backhand, misses wide.
Well, what a shift it would be if he was able to score on his first shift in Maroon and Gold.
Kester with a drive that's blocked. Pitlick follows up, and it's deflected by Burnham out of play.
Well, look for you at home at Logan Cooley. The 3rd overall pick, having his first shift, getting some offensive zone time there. The netminder Burnham. Logan Cooley, a guy who you can just hope we could get 2-3 years out of. Arizona certainly will be calling. Can't wait to see what he's able to bring. Bob Motzko kind of coyly wouldn't tell me a bunch about his opinion because he said, I can't wait to see what you say tomorrow when we talk before the game.
And it's interesting, too, that he's got Snuggerud and Cooley playing together on that 4th line tonight. They played together with the U.S. developmental team. And Motzko has said publicly that Snuggerud and Cooley just have a little more giddy up when they're playing together. So we'll see a lot of 81 and 92 tonight for the Maroon and Gold. They've got the puck, offensive zone. Connor Kurth in the corner. Tap to the point. Fanning on the shot and sending it into the corner now. Puck out in front. Kurth overskated it. And the Lions back the other way. Transitioning, but outnumbered as they move it in with Caleb Price. Taken away by Brock Faber. Now possession of the Minnesota Wild. An outlet pass ahead to Brody Lamb, the freshman, knocked away by Burnham. And up ahead to Kuzma. Kuzma with a drop pass goes all the way back to center. Jack Anderson repossesses near side, deflected in by David Gannon, the top line winger.
So far, some nice transition by the Lions to be able to gain entrance into the Gophers zone.
Rister from the point, whistles wide of the net. Ryan Chesley in the corner in a board battle.
Highly touted, offensively gifted defender. 12 goals last year for the development program.
Offensive zone, John Middlestat, younger brother of Casey Middlestat, the former Gopher. Brody Lamb, stick handling, over to Aaron Huglin. Out front, one-timer by Middlestat, and it winds up with the Lions back the other way.
John Middlestat will be one of those guys that just has dogged determination. He will be a team-first guy. Will be fun to watch. I've known that family for a long time. I just texted with Casey just a second ago, seeing if he had any nuggets that I could tease his brothers about. But just a great overall kid. Luke, we saw him down before the game. Just looked so excited to be able to put that jersey on for the first time, having watched so many games of his brothers.
Luke on the ice right now. Over to Matthew Nyes with a drop pass. Huglin skips off his stick into the corner. Huglin now to Brodzinski. Jackson Lacombe, the defenseman, now over to Johnson. Paddled away by Burnham. Brodzinski cycles it down to Huglin. The Rosone native dishes it off. It's deflected in front and recovered by Huglin now in the corner. It's a delayed high stick. They're looking at it and the whistle blows. Here's a look at the Cenex Player Spotlight on Logan Cooley, 5'10", 180 pounds from Pittsburgh, the #3 draft pick in last year's NHL draft, headed to Arizona.
The highest draft pick, as you see in Gopher history, with the exception of Bloomington's Eric Johnson, a newly crowned Stanley Cup champion, I might add, with the Colorado Avalanche. Congrats to him and his teammates.
Cooley originally committed to Notre Dame, switched that to Minnesota. He's going to be 18 years old all year, Ben. He and Snuggerud both.
Talk about having the world in the palm of your hand. Incredible future, but he's going to have a great experience here on campus, and that's so important to be able to have a bit broader view on the world and just looking out at the ice time in and time out in the junior ranks.
Snuggerud played for Chaska. Puck back to Cooley, runs into his teammate Johnson, and Cooley with it. The centerman on the logo.
Holy
fancy
slippery.
stick handling down the middle. Off to Pitlick, back for Cooley, fires too high. Lacombe picks it up. Jackson Lacombe. Pitlick roams behind the net, nudged away there by Yakimchuk. Regathered by Connor Kurth, kept in the zone by the Gophers. No score. Over 5 minutes gone. Backdoor feed for Kurth. Unable to get it on his stick. He moves to the near side. And the Lions looking for some relief. Price unable to clear. One-timer from the point off the end window. Followed up by Jackson Nelson through the blue paint. One-timer by Pitlick. And the Gophers applying some pressure.
Pitlick with a little bit of chin music there right through traffic. What a nice shift by the Gophers. Sustained pressure really started by the Cooley line's rush.
Gophers averaged 3.5 goals per game last season. 31 shots per game as they won their 5th regular season Big Ten title. Jackson Nelson behind for Mason Nevers, out of his reach. Move forward to Cage Sturzer at neutral. Sturzer battles. Nevers wins it. Here's Mason Nevers. Back check there by Anderson. Gets the puck free. Lindenwood 22-3 last year, winning that ACHA championship. They iced the puck.
Well, Jackson Nelson is going to have a huge role on this team. One of the guys, in talking to Coach Motzko, who is his only really lead returning penalty killer, also a guy who took a lot of faceoffs last year, but they lost so much in the faceoff circle, losing Ben Myers, who took so many faceoffs, also Sammy Walker. Jackson Nelson going to be a guy who you see often standing over that faceoff dot, drawing important ones for Coach Motzko's squad.
Holy Family alum Garrett Pinanimi wins the faceoff. Lamb in the corner, could not handle it. Now a battle on the end boards. Brody Lamb. Shot coming in from Middlestat, covered by Burnham. And so far, Lindenwood doing a good job staving off the Gophers. A little bit of extracurricular there with Pinanimi.
Both teams are going to be prideful. Pinanimi, a sandpaper, strength to his game. He will be persistent. He will be dogged in his pursuit, and I can promise you that will not be the last time he and the opposition have words tonight, nor the rest of this season.
Pinanimi in that third line center spot. Draw taken by Lindenwood. Here come the Lions. Lavelle, the Minnesota native, moves behind the net, toppled by Mike Kester. And the Gophers repossess in their own end. Transitioning ahead is Pinanimi. Right point, he pulls up, looks to the net, aiming for Brody Lamb, and it's knocked away. Lamb in the corner. Along the end boards. Max Neal trying to get it clear. Neal run into by K. DeStefani. And the Gophers with the puck. Right point. Turning with it, Cal Thomas. Cross ice he goes. There's a wrister by Brodzinski, and Burnham the save. Over 7 minutes in, and so far the Lions holding the Gophers at bay. A little more on the Lindenwood Lions. from St. Charles, Missouri. St. Louis Blues actually funded their feasibility study to explore whether D1 was an option for them. It was. And they will be an independent program to start their D1 journey. And they've got 28 of 32 of their games, Ben, scheduled on the road.
That is going to be awfully difficult. But if there was a program I would want to model myself after as a young team in college hockey, would be the Penn State Nittany Lions. What Gagodowski had been able to do was terrific.
Wraparound effort by Nyes nearly lights the lamp. Burnham standing on his head early on, and here come the Lions the other way. Gannon to the corner, battles with Chesley, gives him a shove. Nyes pries it away from Kuzma, and Kuzma tripped him up. Our first penalty of the hockey game, and the Gophers will head to the power play. Kuzma to the box, the Alberta, Canada native. There's the infraction.
You simply can't put your stick in there, as you see Nyes try to wrap one home there to get the Gophers on the board early in this season. And that puck comes fatefully right up the slot area. No Gophers there to corral that, and quick rip one on the net.
Gophers 25 power play goals a year ago. They were almost 22% success rate. One timer got a piece of Burnham. They've got Nelson, Nyes, Cooley with the puck now. Lacombe up top. Here's Nyes. There's a shot and a goal. Jackson Nelson, the first of the year for the Gophers.
What a little give and go here down in the corner, and Nyes just is able to enter into the center area, pull that defender, open up a lane for Jackson Nelson on his strong side, the right-hander, one time in that to the far side. Not much Burnham could have done right there. Didn't take this Gopher team long on the power play. For those of you concerned about offense, I can tell you this will be a fun team to watch.
Nelson was effective on the power play last year as well, with 4 with the extra attacker. And he's got the first of the year for Minnesota. Jackson Nelson from Magnolia, Minnesota. And the Gophers with the first 7 shots on goal this game. Another is blocked. And the Lions trying to get some relief defensively here. Sturzer moved it into the Gophers zone briefly, but Johnson repossesses.
Johnson and Faber back together is almost unfair. Just skate so well. They're confident defending that blue line, have unbelievable gaps there.
Snuggerud behind the net, moves out front and topples down. Another penalty coming.
Be interested on the replay here on how much of a stick was in on his legs, or did he kind of leap trying to get himself in a position to sling a wrister on Burnham? See right here, and this is what, oh yeah, did just get enough right there of the freshman stars. He was trying to turn and pivot and rip it up high, but the Lions not happy as they see their captain sit down. Sturzer in the box. Zombo's Lions had better defend a little bit tighter in their defensive structure with the man down.
Couple penalties in a minute taken by the Lions. Gophers back on the power play. Kester. Left side, Johnson. Near side, Pitlick. There's Kester. Up top, looks to Pitlick. Right circle drive off the end window.
Had Burnham down.
Middlestat to the corner. Luke Middlestat. Up to Kester, the defenseman. There's a shot by Pitlick. That rattled around. Might have got past Burnham. He's shaking his glove. But it stayed out, and the Gophers will regroup. 50 seconds into the power play. Huglin moves it to the corner. After it is Middlestat. He battles. Pitlick shovels it along. Puck behind the net. Rhett Picklick from the right dot, now skating cross ice. Gophers with good puck control. Kester misses wide, followed up off the post by Brodzinski. Couple tries by the Gophers. Picklick gives it a go. Left circle, fanning on the shot, Brodzinski. Kester holds the zone. Good passing here by the Gophers. There's a takedown of Huglin in front. 25 seconds left on the power play. Picklick. Shot blocked. Tracks it down. Brodzinski behind. Another try by Huglin, and that one missing high.
The Lions defenders are certainly getting tired here, stuck in their own zone for some time. A great puck movement. Huge clear right there. All four exit the ice as Close corrals this puck. Minnesota changes as well as we see the clock tick down. 5 aside, now back on the ice.
Gophers 1 of 2 with the extra attacker now. Past the 11-minute mark of this first period, 1-0 Minnesota on a goal by Nelson. Sturzer left wing. Trying to get around Johnson, sends it toward the net and out of play. Gophers strike first from Jackson Nelson on the power play. It's 1-0 Minnesota.
Certainly some talent left as well, but an unbelievable job by the staff to replace those vacancies.
Yeah, the Gophers returned 10 players who had double-digit points last year, despite losing 75 goals. There's a nice outlet pass, springing Kyle Jeffers, and a save by Close. Close only forced to make 2 saves in the opening 12 minutes. Lions have been busy defensively. They've got 10 blocks already. Chesley. Drop there to Nelson, who has the goal. Return feed from Nelson, intercepted, and Max Neal the other direction. Tapped by DeStefani. Held in by Yakimchuk now. Yakimchuk, left circle, a shot on Close. Followed up by Rashensky. Goes wide and into the corner. Kurth brings it out. Over to Jackson Nelson, 2-on-1. Nelson tries to go cross ice, and a good defensive play by the Lions. Caleb Price. And now a giveaway. Look out, DeStefani with a drop pass. What a save there. I think Close caught a piece of it. Puck back out to neutral. Close hands it off to Ryan Johnson. Johnson out left wing. And chased after by Lamb. Opportunity in front. Tap just wide. That was Pinanimi moving in. John Middlestat in the corner with Pinanimi. Lindenwood trying to gather and possess that offensive zone. They've been effective in transition and had some good looks. Tap wide there by Kuzma. Kuzma gives it away to Luke Middlestat, who looks up ice.
Looks up ice. Who does he see but his brother?
They are the same grade, freshmen, but different ages. John the young one. Luke in the middle. Casey the older brother. Drafted by the Sabres in the first round. And there's John Middlestat, flanked by Snuggerud and Cooley. Burnham with another good save. And a reminder, Gopher men's hockey returns to 3M Arena at Mariucci on Friday, October 7th, as they host Minnesota State. The puck drops against the Mavericks at 7 p.m. For tickets and additional information, visit gophersports.com.
Loved what I saw from Ryan Chesley. Quick little transition play, chips to himself, and is able to spur some offense earlier in that exchange.
1-0 Minnesota. Jackson Nelson on the power play, the only goal thus far. Here's Lacombe, the captain, off to Kester. Moves in Kester, another blocked shot. Lions paying the price here in the first period. Pitlick behind the net.
For Mike Kester fans out there, don't adjust your TV. He is now wearing number 4, vacated by Ben Brinkman. Was wearing 6 in his previous couple of seasons.
Cooley, the freshman phenom. Goal line extended. Kester centers, and it got through Snuggerud. Retrieved by Lacombe. Pitlick, backhand pass. There's a shot deflected just wide. Rhett Picklick on to Cooley, out front, puck sitting there, and the Lions will escape and dodge another bullet.
Snuggerud just hogtied there, had an opportunity in the slot, stick taken away by the defender as Cooley steps in a moment late behind. I believe it would have been Rhett Pitlick buzzing across the line as Rhett pleads his case to the linesman. Take a look here as watch the Gophers transition and an attack through the neutral zone, and what could have been there for Jackson Nelson, who was driving that net.
Gophers ranked number 2 in the nation, number 1 in at least one poll. Heading in with high hopes this season. And play tomorrow night as well at 7 p.m. against these Lindenwood Lions. Moving in here is Johnson. Drop to Hewlin, one-timer, just missed. And Johnson back with it. Nice setup. He got dumped in front by Willis. 3-on-2 potentially for Lindenwood. Johannes down the middle, deflected off into the corner for Price.
Just unfair with how well Ryan Johnson defends. Stick in perfect position there to break that up.
Anderson centering feed. Now Johannes kept the zone. Puck tipped in the air. Chesley travels over to play it. Strong play by Chesley.
Goes for the reverse hit there, a la Peter Forsberg used to blow defenders up.
Missing the net, Zach Augie of Clarkston, Michigan. Sturzer in the corner. Grapples there, helped out by Augie. And the puck rims around the end boards.
Sturzer, a big guy, very active participant so far in the first 17 minutes.
6'5", out of Kimberley, British Columbia. Some good zone time here for the Lions. Now they'll exit back to neutral. 3.5 to go in this first period. Rashensky tripped, but they hold on to the puck. Dumped in. OG after it. Scary play there. Ryan Johnson going into the boards, but he's back up. Rashensky a shot. Knocked down and taken by Chesley. Nelson all the way down the ice, and icing waved off. Burnham out to Gannon. The Lions could get to intermission down just a goal. That's a win for them. They've been outshot 10-3 in this frame.
They've had a couple of nice opportunities as well that have gone by the wayside. Really, for Coach Zombo, when they have opportunities in this intermission break, saying, hey guys, you have to hit the net. We cannot afford to pass those up and be just a little bit sloppy with our execution. You pay that price. Let's make sure we get it on the net.
Nevers to Thomas, trying to connect with Nelson for his second. Back to Cal Thomas. Right circle toward the net again. Stuck through. Luke Middlestat tracks it down.
Pair of freshman defense out there that shows what Coach Steve Miller, who's a guy who we have not talked about for a moment. I would like to. Steve Miller, a guy I've known in the college ranks for a decade. An unbelievable hire for Coach Moscow. Just a defensive genius. He has done amazing things in his time with the Ohio State Buckeyes. Coach Steve Rollick.
Thomas missing the net.
I think it will pay huge dividends for this team. They might have the most talented defense corps in all of college hockey, and providing that mind to lead them, I think, is going to be exponentially beneficial.
And he and Motzko go way back, and they've raved about this D-corps for the last few weeks. One of the best that Motzko's ever had for sure. Lamb now cycled along Lacombe. Behind the net he travels. It's 5-on-5, but it looks like a power play. Final 90 seconds of the period. Jackson Lacombe. A shot on Burnham. Taken by Faber. With 1:23 to go in the first. Coming up, we have an interview with Brock Faber at the first intermission. First period highlights and first period stats from the opening stanza of the 2022-23 season. Trent Burnham, great goaltender last year. 1.68 goals against average. He's out of Eagle River, Alaska. Gophers win the draw. Lacombe, one-timer, missed the net.
There once was a Alaskan goaltender who had a lot of success in this building by the name of Eric Shearhorn.
Lacombe.
Oh, he winced there as he was hit.
Out front to Snuggerud. Got a stick on it. Back to Cooley. Logan Cooley moves back to his right. Cross ice he goes. Brock Faber, the captain. 50 seconds left in the frame. Burnham, another save. Pitlick got knocked down. Held on to by the Gophers. Across to Faber. Faber tied up. Lacombe with the puck. Snuggerud now in the corner. The freshman Snuggerud battles with the Apple Valley native Joe Prouty. Up top, Lacombe. Faber. Cooley puts on the brakes, looking for a window toward the net. Moved along there by Burnham. Final seconds, first period. Faber moves it down low. Snuggerud with 8 seconds. Got to shoot. He does. And it's collected by Burnham with 5.2.
With 5.2 left. Let's take that for granted, but I think both of these coaches will head into the intermission break with successes in their own ways of heading into this first 20 minutes of play. Bob Motzko certainly likes the 15 shots on goal. Coach Zombo has to like the fact that only one has gone behind Burnham. I think both coaches will have a very busy intermission communicating with their younger players, trying to get them calm, keep structure. That's what's so difficult for coaches early on. They don't get to practice as much as they would like, and just those small tweaks trying to make.
And Bob Motzko frankly has himself an unbelievable first world problem. Ryan Stodeker's not in the lineup. That's difficult. A guy who's been here for 3 years, made impact year over year, to be able to be put in a situation where, hey, I've got some amazing freshmen that I need to get ice time.
Hughlin made a bid, Brodzinski made a bid, and Burnham stays tough in net. On a clean sheet of ice, Lindenwood goaltender Trent Burnham showing up big in that first period, and again to start the second as Finnegan fires off to the left. Pass tipped out of the reach of Gannon. Matthew Nyes drags the puck across the blue line. Taps it forward to Hughlin. Circles it back, high slot out of the reach of Chesley.
Hughlin's been impressive. I mean, this is a guy that didn't have opportunities to play with the likes of Nyes and Brodzinski, and so far I've been very impressed with his poise, with his speed on the puck.
4th round pick in 2019 by Buffalo. Wilkie, cross ice, now moved in, shot on close, and a good effort by Mitch Allard.
Let's rewind time here for a second. Look at the buzzsaw of activity that the Gophers came out with early in this period, in and around Burnham, as you see Hughlin kind of lacrosse throw that one in way back behind him. Nyes coming in around. And this right here, that was a gutsy play by Chesley to pinch that far down. Shows how much confidence he has. Difficult to have that as a freshman.
Lindenwood actually won in the faceoff circle, 8-7 in the first period. Gophers win it that time, and Cooley in the net mouth, knocked down by Pitlick, and the puck loose. High slot Lacombe now skates to the far boards.
Cooley just throws on the e-brake right there and lets the players slide slowly by. Talk about poise.
We've already seen the skill in the first 22 minutes of this game that everybody's been raving about with Logan Cooley.
No question about it. He will be a very coveted player.
There he is with the puck. His pass a little too hot to handle for Snuggerud, his line mate. And the Lions back the other way. Caleb Price. Price trying to fend off Kester. Price now to the corner, shovels it along the boards. Held in by the Lions, off the end window. Puck slips out to neutral, now back in to Cooley. Cooley absorbs a check from Drew Kuzma.
He played that puck between his legs, got a little bit, I would say, overconfident right there, and all of a sudden reality came checking back as 6'6", towered over the freshman.
There's some good size on this Lindenwood roster, and they returned their top 5 goal scorers and point getters from last year's ACHA championship team. Centering feed for Nevers off of his stick. Lindenwood will counter. Maybe a 2-on-2 here with Gannon. Close. Closes the glove. Opening 3 minutes of the second period.
Take a look here at Cooley. Put this puck between his legs. Tries to step around traffic there, but Kuzma does not bite on this. And that right there, that little stick handle to watch. Look at the defense. Doesn't have a stick in the corner there. Plays like that will connect. Snuggered on the doorstep, but Cooley calmly distributing that puck to the far side.
Johannes missed the net with a shot. Faber with it behind. Faber checked, works the puck down on net. Burnham will cover. A high stick behind the play.
I was looking closely there if Minnesota was offsides in their pursuit of that puck that was high up in the air. Neither here nor there. The puck comes back into their defensive zone to the right of close, as you see Connor Kurth, draft pick of the Tampa Bay Lightning.
You know something about that organization.
A thing or two. It used to be part of an important team. Then they win 2 more and we're afterthoughts, which is pretty cool to watch. It's been a fun run for them. Coach Cooper has done an amazing job.
Almost got the 3-peat last summer. Knocked down by Faber in front of Close. Brock Faber, the captain. On to Cal Thomas. Gophers by a goal early second period. John Middlestat rotates in the corner. Now Garrett Pinanimi. Shot by Middlestat wide. Puck kicks off to Ryan Johnson. Possessed by Pinanimi. John Middlestat helping out. And the Lions will transition. 2-on-2 again. This is where they've struggled to hit the net with the shot. They do hit Close that time, and he holds on. Tickets for Kids believes every kid should have the opportunity to attend a ball game, theater performance, or museum. Join them for breakfast at Target Field on Wednesday, November 16th to celebrate how they inspire futures. Get tickets now at ticketsforkids.org/breakfast.
Forget breakfast. She was having ice cream for dessert right there. Fun to see kids in the building. Their hockey season's either just about to start or already starting. Best of luck to all the kids in their tryout process across the state of hockey.
A good student showing here at 3M Arena at Mariucci. Good student showing this afternoon at the Gophers football game. Kind of a day-night doubleheader if you want to stay on campus all day. Saw some tailgaters out this afternoon getting after it again. Maybe their second game of the day for some.
Well, they were celebrating early, the anticipation, and then, well, maybe dealing with some sorrows later.
Yeah, some deflation there. Tough loss to Purdue. Puck at neutral. De Stefani into the offensive zone, poked away.
What a stick there. That
Ryan
just
Johnson
makes it look so simple. Not a big guy, not, you know, massively strong. He's strong enough, but his angles and his ability to do a lot by moving very little is something Ryan Johnson does so well.
Hughlin cross ice.
Correct.
Brodzinski. Matthew Nyes surveys the ice, shuffles it along to Brodzinski in the corner. Up top, Jackson Lacombe. Lacombe, left-hand shot. That's tipped toward Burnham and Pitlick around the back of the net.
Maybe my mom was watching.
Lacombe down low. Lacombe into the corner, now moves it toward the point and loses the puck through neutral.
Something interesting happened with Jackson Lacombe last year. You know, he struggled early in the season.
Pitlick, oh, what a pass and an even better save, rebound, score. It's Cooley's first of many to come.
Wow, what a play here. Red Pitlick. I'm like, he's shooting. No, he's not passing. He's passing behind his back here. Cooley gets the first shot on, and the little chipper back here and there. Following up, gets his first marker. Congrats to Logan Cooley. Welcome to the goal-scoring club as a newly crowned Golden Gopher. Pretty cool moment there. Lee Gresseth will get that puck for the freshman star, put tape on it, time, place, who it was against, and that will be one he will hold on to.
He got the second assist on the Jackson Nelson goal, so now he's got 2 points on 2 goals that the Gophers have scored in this game. The second point, a goal that Cooley scores himself on the second try. Gophers add another and lead by 2. Cooley back in to Faber, now down low. Pitlick trying to hold on to the puck in the near corner. Pitlick picked up an assist on that goal by Cooley along with Chesley. Here's Snuggerud trying to light the lamp, missed high and wide.
Whew, let that rip high to the short side, had Burnham down on his knees. If there's been a common theme that I've been watching with the Lions netminder, he is down early, trying to take that lower halfway. The Gophers have shot a lot of pucks high, missing the net, caroming off the glass.
9 out of 10 times that first save that Burnham made would hold up, and he would be lauded for it, as there's a good opportunity, and Close makes a big save on Andrew Willis, the former St. Thomas Tommy, to rob the Lindenwood Lions.
Yeah, great puck control here by Close. The save important as he pushes to his left, but controlling the rebound even better. I was talking briefly about Jackson Lacombe and how he struggled last year, trying to put so much pressure on himself. It took him into December to kind of get out of that funk, and I think that's something he will certainly not have, happen to him again. But I was wondering how, that experience might be applicable to Matthew Nyes, making sure he doesn't try to do too much. Yes, he's been hyped up mega, since, the Gophers hit the post there since the last season, but he has to stay within himself. He can't win the Hobie Baker, can't win the scoring title day one, and certainly game one.
There was a delayed penalty as Lamb hit the post, and the Gophers will go back on the power play for the 3rd time.
Brody Lamb ripping that one. Quick little wrister.
Max Neal.
That'll drive coach's craziest stick infraction. Sits him down for another power play opportunity. They go back to the top unit with Cooley, Nyes, and Jackson Nelson.
They've got Snuggerud on the back door trying to haul that one in left circle, and a clearance by the Lions. Gophers are 1 of 2 on the extra attacker in this game, trying to create some distance between themselves and the Lions. Tipped in by Nyes. Another one on the power play, and it's 3-0 Gophers.
The Gophers are on a power play, but they build up steam and momentum here. A quick 3-on-2 gives them an opportunity to attack the net on the rush. Nyes right there coyly deflects this puck, could have corralled it, and probably would have went to his backhand. Burnham already down, like we talked about, and Nyes is able to knife that one high to the short side. So that top unit with both power play goals doing so in quick fashion.
Great start for this Gophers power play. Bob Motzko's hinted at maybe rolling with 3 power play units early in this season just to see what's working, and something's working.
I think he could do that for a while. Guy Godowski has done that multiple times with the Penn State and Nittany Lions. But I think when the rubber meets the road and you hit the new year, getting it down to 2 units is awfully beneficial. Tough to fulfill all the shall I say, the requirements of keeping those players happy. They want that puck. They want that time. Good shot there by John Middlestad. He's been just buzzing in this game, just dogged effort.
Middlestad centers. And Pinanimi makes a bid out front.
There's his brother Luke hopping in, supporting the offense, keeping this puck alive.
Colton Wilkie brings it out, flutters it through the air. No high stick, moved along. Finnegan, that's kicked in front by Kuzma. Finnegan behind the cage. Stolen by Huglin. Huglin goes high off the window, held in briefly and tapped out by Minnesota.
Good job by Brody Lamb getting that puck outside the blue line. Just a quick whack with his stick as the defenseman had been able to corral it and keep it in.
At neutral, DeStefani. Lions regrouping. They've been outshot 19-6. And down by 3. Flipped in for Cal Thomas. Thomas with a giveaway out front and close, forced to make the save on a shot by Neal.
Maybe one of the best opportunities there for the Lions as the Gophers were a bit too relaxed and gave that puck away in the slot area. Close, able to deal with that. Take a look right here as that one is meant for Brodzinski, and the counter 22. Max Neal comes in, collects that, and puts it at Close's pads.
Justin Close, gonna feel old, Ben. Justin Close, one of only 2 Gophers born before the year 2000.
Well, that ship has long sailed for me. Talking about players that, you know, it was, yeah, they were born when I was in high school, then born when I was in college, then born when I was pro, and now they're just absolutely young and very talented.
What a move in front, and it winds up on the end boards. Huglin.
Again, Huglin just so good on his feet tonight.
Nyes hands it off. Huglin. Johnson at the blue line. Stick handles, high slot, shot blocked. Nyes cleaning it up. Save Burnham.
Nice patience by Johnson there, walking that line, trying to wait for a lane. Johnson gets rung up here for an interference on Sturzer.
The first Gophers penalty they've committed in this hockey game. Past the halfway point of the second period.
Right after we're praising his efforts, Ryan Johnson will sit down, and we're going to head for a quick break. The Gophers up 3-0 halfway through the second period. You see Logan Cooley get his first. Next week's opponent, and it will be far different because Minnesota State will be an older team. Kind of a, I look at those polls sometimes and I feel like they are future looking, but for Minnesota, future being into the new year, Minnesota State's going to be an absolute tough opponent. I think a split would be outstanding, but they're going to have their, you know, kind of P's and Q's put together a lot more than this younger Gopher team.
Gannon, a clean look, missed the net. That's been the kryptonite for the Lions in this game. Jeffers has the puck. First time for the Gophers penalty killers in this one.
And this is an area Coach Motzko talked about really having to find new faces. Losing the likes of McLaughlin, Walker, Myers.
Left circle, drive, blocked. Great job by Lacombe.
And there was a rotation on the top there that allowed that to happen. Jackson Nelson saw that the Gophers were caught in a precarious situation, shifted over outside of his predominant left wing position.
Tapped wide of the net by Kuzma. Gophers clear the puck past the midway point of the power play. Here comes Lindenwood again, looking for its first D1 goal, the 63rd D1 program. Wilkie to Jeffers. DeStefani, the New Hampshire native, now moved along. Cycling left side are the Lions. 25 to go on the power play. Tipped away by Chesley. Prouty gives it off to Willis. Willis down low, jammed at, off the side of the net. Clung to by Willis. Waning seconds of the power play. Prouty fires down low again. Receives it back up top, sets up a one-timer, sails high off the stick of Wilkie, and that gets the Gophers back to full strength.
Jackson Lacombe did a nice job there in front of the net, often having to be the player taking the 2-on-1. True power plays are about identifying where the 2-on-1 is on it, and the ice is, and exploiting. And Jackson Nelson was in that position a couple of times, was down on a knee, putting his stick in the other lane.
Looking to get the kids out of the house? Secure your Cub Family 4-pack with 4 tickets, 4 soft pretzels or candy, 4 medium sodas, and $5 off your next.
Justin Close is playing tonight, but Odin Bartoskevich is an extremely talented netminder as well, so he has that, first world problem as well.
I would imagine we see Bartoskevich tomorrow. Otsko has said that both goalies will see action in this series as Snuggerud has the puck. Off the timeout, he fires off to the left. Gophers gain the offensive zone still as Cooley, who has his first collegiate goal in this one, passes that one in the possession of Yakimchuk. Gannon the other direction. Here's Yakimchuk, unable to handle the pass. Centered by the Lions, and here comes Pitlick. 2-on-2 with Snuggerud. Snuggerud on Burnham and cleared by Kuzma. Retrieved by Johnson at neutral. 1 goal in the first, 2 in the second for the Gophers. They're 2 of 3 on the power play, a big difference in this game. Wheeling in is Rhett Pitlick. He shoots from the left circle, and Burnham covers up once again. Here's a look at the Tria Sports update and a look at the Gophers' upcoming schedule. Lindenwood tomorrow night, and then the big series that we just foreshadowed with Minnesota State in a home-and-home.
And then the green team, is Don Lucia referred to them, not giving them the credit of having any sort of formalized name. I kind of appreciate when he would talk about playing the green team and then also the red team, 2 of the most bitter rivals.
Conference play for the Gophers will start the weekend after that North Dakota series against Ohio State, 28th and 29th of October.
And that is not the red team I was talking about.
Different one.
Correct.
Prouty cross ice. 5-on-5 this game. Lions have only been outscored 1-0. It's been a valiant effort on their part in their D1 christening. Big check there in front of the Gophers bench. Willis slaps a pass off left wing, shot by Johannes, winds up out of play.
Faber able to deflect that up with proper positioning as we see another big hit here as Brody Lamb tries to get low and absorb that one. Hunter Johannes there going up and over the 6'1" freshman.
Johannes went to the same Eden Prairie program as the Middlestats. A couple of Minnesota connections on that Lindenwood roster. Gophers win the draw. Mike Kester near side.
The puck just wouldn't lay down for Kester there as he was trying to make the outlet pass to Nyes.
Slid along the end boards. Huglin gathering it in. Nyes there with him. Brodzinski. One-time shot by Lacombe. And the Lions clear the puck.
Troy mission right there for Nyes. He is injured the defender, who is still down on the ice.
Max Neal, I believe.
You are correct. If this is called anything but charging, I have issues with it. Might have been violent. I wouldn't call it necessarily egregious. And potentially contact to the head, but he wasn't in my first view.
They're going to look at it.
Yeah, never a good sign, especially when your team's up by 3. We'll get a look at the replays. You see the injured Neal on the ice. Because he's laying on the ice, I actually think it's more of a wind getting knocked out of him situation. Yeah, I mean,
your thoughts?
I mean, hey, hockey's a contact sport.
Yep.
I mean, you got pads on for a reason. Don't want anyone to get hurt. Don't want anyone to have a head injury, but I have no issue with that hit.
And Neal will work his way to the bench. Neal played last year for the Minnesota Wilderness in the NAHL. 21 goals for them as they review the hit.
Neal's going to head down the tunnel, it looks like. No.
And he's got a smile on his face. That's a good sign. Neal out of Portage La Prairie, Manitoba. Here it is again.
He only does one shoulder check there. As a defender, you got to know you're in harm's way when you're that close to the wall. He's trying to get this puck out. Again, I hate to say it, I think they're going to call more than this one is worth, and that's going to be frustrating, but it will allow the Gophers an opportunity to potentially continue to work on their penalty kill. I can live with that. I would have gone with charging or boarding, which is kind of also an under the wrap one where it was just too violent for the current situation, but nonetheless, Knies will stay in this game. Coach Motzko will head out with Nevers up front along with Jackson Nelson, looking like their two top penalty killers up front.
Faber on the ice as well. 5 minutes to go in the middle period. Lions trying to get on the scoreboard. Gannon tapped off Jeffers down the middle. A save by Close. Gophers try to clear, and they do. Close has been sharp. He's made all 9 saves asked of him. Brought in by Jeffers. Jeffers has it back in the corner. As Finnegan, Kuzma, Gannon on the ice with him, along with Price at the point, who settles it down and gives to Finnegan.
That was a nice hold in by Price.
Kuzma looking for Gannon. Gannon gives it away, and the Gophers short-handed. Breakout 2-on-2. Jackson Nelson makes a move and fires through the blue paint, and it winds up with Kuzma. Midway through the power play. Second of the period for the Lions. They are 0 for 1. Dished off left side. Kuzma taps it on further. Caleb Price behind the net. Price on for Jeffers. Price up top. Moved on left circle. Shot is blocked. Jeffers regathers. Leaves it back to the blue line. And I think it just exited out of the zone. 30 seconds left on the power play. Coming up at the second intermission, an interview with Matthew Knies, who's in the box right now. Second period highlights and second period stats. That's all on the way at the intermission.
Should be an interesting conversation with a talented forward. Interested to hear how he's dealing with managing expectations externally and internally.
Was an Olympian last year. Second round pick last year. Gophers again shorthanded. It escapes Huglin. And Wilkie gets it on back here for Willis. Pestered there by Huglin. Final 5 seconds of the power play. Lions are going to run out of time, and the Gophers back to full strength. A big check by Chesley. Draws some applause. Knies back out there inside of 3 minutes to go in the second. Cooley and Knies have scored in the period to add to the Gophers lead. Flexed away by Close. Held in still by the Lions, and now again the Gophers in transit 2-on-1. Knies, Brodzinski, Knies couldn't handle the return pass.
Perfect.
Knies nearly had his second. And now they caught them in a change. It's Cooley moving in, and he couldn't hit the net. Kester will hold the zone. Banked on down for Snuggerud. Jimmy Snuggerud toward the net. Blocked by Prouty. Lions endeavor to clear. Cooley with it back for Minnesota. Knocked down by Snuggerud. The two freshmen battle in the corner. Snuggerud over top of Augie. Snuggerud still works it on. Cooley there. Snuggerud. Skating down low, looking on a backdoor feed for Kester. Gophers still hold the zone. Thomas, Kester. Skating away from Johannes, who poked it away, and the Lions at last trying to clear the puck. They do. Puck goes in the bench with 1:19 to go in the second period. Good zone time for the Gophers.
Good zone time with some incredible individual efforts. Skill just dripping as you see that one right there. I mean, I would imagine Bob is going to say, okay, man, I love it, and I'm thrilled with how talented you are, but he will ask a question of why. And as a young player, the answer might be because it was cool. But as a coach, I don't know if Bob's going to like that one. Now, had it went in the net, you got a defense. Crazy, these kids, to be able to do the things they do. I mean, kids in Mite's able to do the Michigan routinely. Just an absolute, growth in the game, and the talents and the, the individual skill focus is.
Lindenwood penalty here, and we're going to get another look at that Gophers power play. And another review on the Sturzer penalty.
That's a slew foot type of situation right there. Fortunately, the player, who was Lamb, has his head and chin kind of tucked in, doesn't hit his head on the ice, which is really where you get into a difficult situation when someone kicks your feet out. They kick it hard enough to get both feet, which he didn't. You can really hit the back of your head hard. I don't believe that this is going to be a major. I think it's going to be a 2-minute minor. It was a slew foot, but I don't believe anything further.
Gophers 2 of 3 on the power play. Nelson and Nyes with the power play goals. Gophers had a power play goal in over half their games last year. Here's that contact again.
It's the right foot. Yeah, he doesn't really kick it so much. He almost uses his knee more than his foot. I would be surprised if this is anything more than 2 minutes. And I think actually, Sturzer is probably sitting there going, look, I didn't kick the back of his feet. So yeah, I kind of used my knee a touch, but not egregious at all. I can say I battled for the Gophers, now battling for the Lions there, saying that isn't something, and they're going to walk him off the ice right now. Wow. 5 minutes for Sturzer. The Gophers will go on the power play for the final minute of this one. 4 of the next period. Sam, that surprises me. I didn't see that one being worthy of 5, nor really that dangerous.
Serving the penalty will be Kabore Dunn, the freshman defenseman. And we will see a lot of Gophers power play in these 5 minutes. We might see all 3 units that Motzko has teased. Cleared immediately by the Lions off the draw, so the Gophers will get just under 50 seconds here to end the second period with a 3-0 lead in the opener. Middlestat cross ice. Huglen circles. Huglen navigates to Kester. Pitlick down low, put in front, handled by Huglen. Shot is blocked between the legs of Brodzinski. Kester feeds Luke Middlestat. He'll wrist one, high and wide, and out of play.
Luke Middlestat getting some opportunities. He pops down on his strong side there, tries to rip one. This power play could solve a need for the Gophers. You asked me before we got on the air about some of the things that I would want if I was a coach and I could magically draw up how things would play out. Yes, obviously I'd want to win, but I'd want every single freshman to score a goal, to take that pressure off of themselves.
5 freshmen, I think, on the 3rd and 4th lines combined. Cooley's got one tonight. Snuggerud's come close. 5 seconds left in this period. A shot by Johnson is blocked, and that'll bring the stanza to a close. So 4 minutes of power play will extend over into the 3rd period for the Gophers. They add goals from the freshman Logan Cooley. And a power play goal from Nyes to take a 3-0 lead into the locker room.
Awfully impressive 20 minutes there. I think the Gophers have a lot to build on. They'll have 4 minutes of Jimmy Snuggerud can absolutely hum that puck. Very impressed with his release and the velocity of his shot. Lacombe will go back. He'll be the sole defenseman on the ice for this power play.
Snuggerud to his right. Nyes to his left as he circles behind the cage. Gophers by 3 starting the 3rd period. The earliest season opener in Gophers history. Over a century of history. They've never started October 1st. Nelson has a goal in the game, loses the puck along the boards. They'll trickle in on Justin Close. Cooley at the line. Cooley hands it off to Snuggerud. Lacombe moves in. He glides to the net. The backhand. And I think Nelson had a crack at it on the back door. Snuggerud right back in. Finds Cooley. Logan Cooley, the number 3 pick in the NHL draft. Shovels it off to Nelson, held in by Lacombe. Over to Snuggerud. Back for Lacombe. A drive. Missed the cage. Stepping down to get it is Cooley. Still 2:45 left of power play time. Nyes works it across ice. Left circle shot. Clanks off the end window. And the Lions with a clearance.
And that was exactly what Matthew Nyes was talking about. Just as I said that, he was looking up at the sky like, oh, guys, we got to hit the net. As a few were just hummed at the net, too high, a little wide, tickling off the glass.
Cross ice, Brodzinski to Middlestat, in and out of Burnham's glove. Stays in the zone. Right point, Pitlick. The team's shots on goals leader through 2 periods. Pitlick. Now one-timer by Huglin. Past the net. And missing the net with some of these shots, it's something that'll get dialed in as the weekends go along, you would imagine.
It will have to. I will say in this 3rd period, another thing to start watching will be fatigue. These are players that certainly have practice, but game is an entirely different speed.
Pitlick looking for Luke Middlestat, who hauls it in with 1:37 left on the power play. Pitlick, he missed the net high, and the puck will leave the zone.
It's just one of those things. You start getting tired, and you just don't quite have the same amount of dexterity and accuracy in your hands, and All of a sudden, you just miss it by a touch.
Brodzinski, the Blaine alum, ramps one off a stick, out of play. 77 seconds left on this 5-on-4.
There's a quote that I just love. I believe it's by Vince Lombardi. He says, you know, fatigue makes cowards of us all, and it just makes it so difficult. And it's so easy to just, I'm going to go, but not quite all the way, and you back off just a touch. I think that's a big thing for this Gophers. Not calling any of them cowards by any way, shape, or form, but the idea that this period, you know, their guys are going to get tired. It just is what it is, and how they fight through that as they continue to get into better game shape will be something that Bob Motzko has to motor them through.
And fatigue, too, for the Lions, who've been on their heels much of this game defensively.
No doubt about it. I mean, holy cow, Burnham absolutely needs a bottle of Pedialyte at the end of this one with the number of shots thrown his direction.
Johnson whips it toward the net. That winds up on the end boards. Hacked at by Brody Lamb, the freshman. Some new power play skaters out there for the Gophers. Nevers and Lamb. Pinanimi as well. Kurth up top. Handed off to Pinanimi. 35 seconds left on the power play. Shooting is Lamb. Blocked and cleared. And the Lions are less than 30 seconds away from killing off a 5-minute major penalty. Last rush here for the Gophers on the power play. It is Lacombe skating through everybody, dropping a pass, and Burnham slams the door. Let's take a look at the preseason Big Ten poll, see where the Gophers stack up. Number 1, just over Notre Dame and Michigan. Gophers won their 5th regular season Big Ten title last year.
Yeah, that poll was about as easy as predict as the sun rising in the east tomorrow.
Gophers win the draw, final seconds power play, and the shot winds up out of play. Still 5 seconds remain on this 5-on-4.
Another shot deflected, aka not getting to the net there, as you see Trent Burnham, who has played well. 26 shots sent his direction, 23 saves. At this point, some 60 to 70, you know, total shots thrown his direction.
You look at last year's D1 newcomer, that was St. Thomas. Their first game was also against the number 2 team in the country. That was at St. Cloud State. And it was 12-2 as a final. So in comparison, really good effort here by the Lions, and Burnham, who makes another fine save as Faber flings one toward the net. That's off of Burnham. Puck banked out to center. Lacombe over to Faber. And ahead to Brodzinski, now 5-on-5. Huglin. Huglin rings one around. Nyes watching Lacombe play it. Overskated there by Allard. Held in. Huglin shot right on Burnham. Unable to hold on to the puck, but it's going to work out. A 4-on-3 the other way for the Lions. Swiftly moving with it is Augie, and a save by Close. That was actually Lavelle on the shot, the Minnesota native. And here is Nyes.
Puts that puck right through the Bermuda Triangle of the defender, and that's between the heel of the stick and the skates for those of you at home. And it's an area you just can't touch as a defender. You cannot get your stick in there to defend it. Marty St. Louis used to exploit that like it was, you know, basically his office. Nyes with the confidence there and the strength to get to the inside.
Brzezinski, a shot blocked, held in by Lindenwood. Wheeled around to Shane Lavelle, the Chaska alum. Rolling puck behind the net, Close plays it with the paddle. Wilkie keeps it in for the Lions. Kicked on toward the point, now loose for Chesley. And out to Pitlick with Snuggerud 2-on-1. Snuggerud couldn't handle the pass. And Lindenwood will go back the other way now. Max Neal. De Stefani in the corner. Wrapped up there with Pitlick. Got taken down, a delayed penalty. There's the whistle. Interference on the play.
Yeah, pretty easy one here to call as you watch that stick get into, you know, kind of the neck and ear area of Rhett Pitlick.
DeStefani, a freshman, heads to the box for 2 minutes. Gophers to the power play. They're 2 of 4.
This will be an area that Coach Zombo has to address, not just for this game, but for this season. And you just can't allow teams, the volume of power play opportunities they've done so far. This game's moving at a faster pace. Easy to reach your stick in there if you just get a step out of position, haul someone down, but have to try to be disciplined.
Kester down to play it. Caught up to by Johannes, who spins and shoots, and Close has to make the save. Extra attacker here for the Gophers. Hughlin across the blue line. Tapped off to Brodzinski. Navigates the corner. Centers for Hughlin. Fans in on the shot. Held, though, by Minnesota.
This would be that third look power play that you were talking about.
Kester moved along. Playing catch with Middlestat, now Pitlick. Pitlick hesitates, fires, missed wide. Pursued by Luke Middlestat. Back for Kester up top. Middlestat, Hughlin. Pitlick again. And that puck will leave the zone and all the way through neutral, midway through the power play. Rhett Pitlick, stick handles in, quickly stolen and cleared by Lindenwood. Lacombe, the Eden Prairie product. Off to Nyes. Dropped on Cooley, the freshman Logan Cooley. Goal and an assist in his debut. Cooley, nice pass. Lacombe looks out front, tapped away. Now the Lions trying to get a rush. OG caught up in a mass of Gophers.
Nice push there on the back check by Jackson Lacombe, who'd been caught in a touch on the offensive side of the puck. Just turned the afterburners on for a sec.
Nyes, Lacombe didn't get all of it, and Burnham pounces. Don't miss a minute of the action at 3M Arena at Mariucci this season. Season tickets, single game tickets, mini plans, group tickets, and more are all on sale now. Single game tickets start as low as $10 for select home games. Visit gophersports.com to lock in your tickets today.
11 seconds remain in the power play. For my liking, in the power plays we've seen this period, the passes trying to go across the defensive structure of the Lions, and those passes not being close enough. When you're trying to pass through two people, not only do you have to beat both those people, the puck has to land soft. The player has to accept the pass. Keep it close, just like we saw in the first goal where Nyes, really just shoveled that puck, some 10 feet to Jackson Nelson. A far more, safe and structured way to go about it, and successful so far.
Back to even strength. Gophers now 2 of 5 on the power play. Just over 12 minutes left and a 3-0 lead. Brock Faber dishes it off to his left. That's zipped toward the net, deflected wide. Prouty hauls it in for the Lions. Prouty absorbing contact. Lindenwood trying to gather themselves. They've played a lot of penalty kill time here in the last 10 to 15 minutes of game time. Killed off a 5-minute major, now a 2-minute minor. Now they've got the puck offensive zone. Finnegan, right circle, shot by Lavelle up over top of the cage. Connor Kurth for the Gophers. His line mates will change, and he'll get off the ice as well. Good work by Nelson. There's Nevers over to Kurth, in and out of Burnham's hands, and he paddles it clear. Trent Burnham has been unbelievable in this game. He's saved 90% of his shots faced. And those are just shots on goal. Gophers probably have close to 80 attempts now. Gannon offensive zone. Drops it on for Yakimchuk. Andrew Willis. Current pass stolen by Minnesota. Mason Nevers races in. Contested by DeStefani. Pass intercepted by Willis. He'll work his way down the left wing. Andrew Willis. Good drop there to Price. And a penalty on the Gophers with 10:33 to go.
Hublin's going to sit here, and we'll show you the replay. It's going to kind of look funny because he gets a stick caught in the uniform. I don't know if it was hooking or just some sort of interference. Is right there. See it get stuck?
Yeah.
He's making a kite out of his jersey. Can't say I've ever seen that before. Nonetheless, Hublin, who's been outstanding, will get a rest for a couple of minutes. The Gopher penalty kill will get, I believe, is its 4th opportunity.
Trying for an immediate clearance there is Faber, and gets the job done to neutral. Jeffers all the way back to his goal line extended for the Lions. Lindenwood looking for the icebreaker. Its first D1 goal. Rick Zombo said his team incredibly honored to debut in this venue against this team. Puck out of play there. And it'll stay in the offensive zone for Lindenwood.
And they've got a full slate of, very challenging opponents. They're not shying away from some of the best teams in the country. Trial by fire, no question about it. And there will be some lumps. However, I believe they will come out the other side better for it versus trying to play a more of an easier schedule. Also allow them to recruit more top-end talent when you're playing top-end talent.
They were 22-3 last year. The 3 losses were in games where they played D1 opponents. Denver once and Air Force a couple of times. And they won all the rest on their way to a title. Trying to convert here on a power play. A minute left in it with 9.5 to go in the game. Crossing in is Jeffers. Banked on DeStefani. Wilkie toward the net, trying to kick it to his stick. Waved at by Kester, and the puck frozen there on the end boards. Grappling to get it is Willis. Prouty a shot. Deflected in front, cleaned up, and the puck car, the net comes loose of its moorings. DeStefani seemed to crash into it with 31 seconds left on the Lindenwood power play. See that again.
As you see, Luke Middlestad abandon his stick there to try to take away that lane, and the net is pushed off its mooring by Justin Close. First game of the year, you can get away with that. You get into February and March, there are a lot of watchful eyes looking at you, saying, did he do that on purpose because there's going to be some scoring activity? There might have been a goaltender or two who've done that in their day.
Hey, if you can push off of something with your skate, helps you get from side to side.
Played with a goaltender or two who used to do that repeatedly. Kevin Weeks used to kick it off all the time when there was activity. The refs would be losing their mind. He'd kind of wave his hand. Hey, what do you want me to do? Then coyly kind of laugh about it. Never seen a goalie get a delay of game penalty, though.
In all your years, never.
Never once.
Power play is over for Lindenwood. They are 0 for 3 now in the game. Still in the offensive zone are the Lions. Johnson brings it out for the Gophers. Pitlick firing ahead, moving it forward, backhand score. Cooley again, his second of the day.
Well, the new game is all about speed. The Gophers create it with their pass quick up the ice, and Rhett Pitlick is able to find a streaking Logan Cooley there as he accepts this puck on his backhand, flashes forehand, gets Burnham to bite, and that's all the room he needs right there, ladies and gentlemen. Nets his second of the night. Rhett Pitlick has just been great tonight. He has shown, on top of his speed, some great confidence with the puck. I would say maybe on the first Cooley goal, a little bit too much confidence for my liking, but nonetheless, a good thing.
Anderson, the shot on Close, still has the puck. Couple assists for Pitlick in this game.
And that's off its moorings again.
And we will pause. Logan Cooley. Offensive zone draw out of the timeout for the Lions, and the Gophers win it, and they're going back the other way with Kurth. A 4-0 Minnesota lead. 7.5 to go in this hockey game. Same time tomorrow on the start. Lindenwood and Minnesota. Lions at neutral, given away. There's Nelson looking to get loose, but cut off. And Lindenwood brings the puck back to neutral. Nelson at the blue line. Kurth in. Burnham a save.
I don't think that puck quite sat for Connor Kurth there, as he got his best opportunity of his first game here on campus.
6th-round pick by the Lightning. In the most recent draft, he played for Elk River in high school. Huglin on the draw. Right circle. Won by Huglin and the Gophers. There's Thomas with a shot. Burnham saves again. Wilkie looking to clear. He can't. It's Nyes. Left dot. He'll shoot, and Burnham covers that time. His 31st save of the game.
Gonna be a tired guy as he hits the pillow later tonight. The line of Huglin, Nyes stay out on the ice, along with Bryce Brodzinski, who will be on his forehand on the high side of your television screen. If this puck bumps back, look for him to walk across the top and lace one at Burnham.
Lions win that draw. Aiden Yakimchuk off for Kuzma. Kuzma given up there to Price. Caleb Price around the right circle, sent toward the net for Kuzma. Another threatening play there for Lindenwood. Close, working on a shutout right now. He had 3 of those last season. Sent in. Nyes after it. Over to Brodzinski. Tapped on to Cal Thomas. He'll wrist one toward the net. That hits off the end window.
I think Huglin may have got a stick on that Thomas wrister. You see Luke Middlestad jump in to support his defensive partner. Pair of freshmen out there.
Puck pinballs off the back of the cage. Luke Middlestat there for the Gophers. Runs into David Gannon, and the Lions get it back. Rashensky down low to Gannon. The top liner, Gannon, in a board battle here near side. Under 6 to play. Puck finally secured by Minnesota and flipped out to neutral. Zach Augie secures it and moves it forward. Good skating by Augie. Rim of the circle. Moved along to Gannon. Augie looking for space. A check there applied by Willis, but the Gophers have the puck, and it's Pitlick again. Trying to get loose, but lost the handle. Drops it back for Faber. Brock Faber, goal line extended. He'll wheel behind the cage. Left it for Snuggerud. Snuggerud. Kester tipped out of play and back into Burnham's arms.
Rhett Pitlick with a stick on that puck that deflected up towards the student section. There's Mike Kester, who is also putting together a nice calm hockey game. Rhett Pitlick, you know, coming here, and I wasn't quite sure, having, you know, followed and watched Rem Pitlick and scored all sorts of points, an All-American here. Rhett kind of came in, you know, marching to his own drum, a different hockey player, no question about that, than Rem, but man, he has developed nicely.
Rhett, a 5th-round pick of the Canadiens in 2019. Part of that Chaska program. It's produced a few current Gophers. Inside of 5 to play. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, and 1 more in the third here for Minnesota. Faber gives way to Kester. Cooley, 2 goals in this one. Holds the puck at his own blue line. And he'll wait for reinforcements. Intercepted by Johannes. Johannes slings it in for the Lions. Jeffers a shot through traffic all the way to the far side, and Chesley. Flipped in by Brody Lamb, the freshman. Yakimchuk got there first, and now Lindenwood from right to left. Lacombe back with it for Minnesota inside of 4 minutes to play. Lacombe banked on into the Lindenwood zone. Price back with it. Price fires off a skate. Unable to hold in Roshinsky. Roshinsky is the, it's stolen by Nelson. And using the stick is Burnham to get it out of the way.
Late in the game here, this puck's having a harder time laying flat. That's what happened on Jackson Nelson, trying to be able to create offense out of that opportunity.
Behind the goal line extended is Gannon. Kuzma grapples with Nelson, who nearly added his second goal a moment ago. I was just going to mention that Roshinsky, the lone draft pick for the Lions, he was picked by the Canadiens, 7th round, 2019. He sends the puck in deep. Held here by Faber, the captain. Big off season for Faber. Played in the World Juniors tournament as part of a trade involving Kevin Fiala of the Wild. And Bob Motzko came out and said that Faber should really be flattered that he was a piece that helped the Los Angeles Kings land a superstar, and that should be a compliment that he should take as part of that deal.
And we paid him some $8 million once Kevin Fiala landed in Los Angeles.
Nyes circling with it. A shot from a tight angle that sneaks over top and exits the zone to neutral with inside of 2 minutes left. Willis up ahead. Andrew Willis gives way. Nyes takes the puck. Willis, one of the top scorers on last year's Lions team. Meanwhile, it's Nyes for Brodzinski, wide of the net. Thomas forced it in deeper. Brodzinski again right circle. Hughlin, less than 90 seconds to go. Rister from up top, tipped by Nyes. The rebound missed the cage again and settles down at the feet of Sturzer. Or check that. Anderson. Sturzer was disqualified from the game in the second period. And we've got a penalty at neutral ice. Let's take a look at the Gophers captains this season. They got 4 of them, and we have a word at the bench there. There was not a penalty on that play.
I thought an official had his hand up. I thought we were going to have too many men on the ice, and that's what Coach Zombo was getting heated about. As you see, the captains, Johnson, Faber, Lacombe, and Jackson Nelson. To my knowledge, and I love some good specs. I've had spectacles since I was 2.5. Brock Faber, the only captain, and maybe the only player to ever take his team picture with glasses on. And I love it.
It's great to talk to Faber at the first intermission.
Yeah, very well spoken, and he had his thoughts collected. He gave great answers with, nice articulation of some, very concrete points. Didn't give us, any sort of get pucks deep, and we just have to take one game at a time. He was thoughtful, and I would imagine that speaks to the way he leads.
He's a preseason All Big Ten first team selection. Last year's Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year.
He will be a postseason All Big Ten player as well, for those of you who have curious minds.
Final half minute of play. Gophers in command. A 4-0 lead. Great night for one of their prize freshmen. And some familiar faces getting on the score sheet as well. Maybe the final chance for the Lions. There's a shot from the slot by Johannes, a save by Close. 5 seconds remain.
Just as you were saying the final shot, I'm like, if this goes in, you're giving them the announcer jinx in your first game. Nonetheless, that did not happen. The Gophers prevail 4-0 over Lindenwood. A great first game for the Gophers, giving themselves an opportunity to build and showcase their freshmen. Kick off a little rust for the veterans. Justin Close gets a continuation of what has been fine play since Jack LaFontaine vacated the University of Minnesota. A lot of positives in Lindenwood. Let's give them a little bit of credit as well. I thought, they were going to really struggle tonight against this #2 team in the country. They played rock solid. They could clean up their discipline situation. They could have been in a different hockey game. Unfortunately, too many penalties, a couple of power play goals for the Gophers. And that guy right there had himself a night. Trent Burnham faced